most exciting cities in the tri-state area, it's Late Night with David Letterman. Tonight, actor Albert Finney, SCTV's Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas, the world's cheapest movies, people who will not be seen on the show, and a look at small-town news. And now, a man who needs a booster shot, David Letterman.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Welcome to our show. And, of course, what is today? Today is Wednesday. That means, of course, it's real estate day here. Welcome to the program. My name is David Letterman. We got a fine show assembled for you folks. If you have not lived in New York at any portion of your life, during any portion of your life, let me just explain something to you about living in this city. I've lived here now twice. And this is my second time. The only thing important to people in New York City, not the Broadway stage, not the cultural events, nothing is important to New Yorkers except apartments. That's it. That's all people care about. That's all people talk about. I'll tell you a story now exemplifying this. Our producer, Barry Sand, at one point lived in New York City before he now lives. You know what I'm saying. He lived here before, and then he moved. Well, that's a whole nother show. He lived in a nice building. One evening, there was what we refer to as a gangland slaying in his building. And the next morning, of course, the police had the little police barricades blockading the area, and there was a lot of investigation. And there was a woman on her way to work, and she came by and sort of stood behind the sawhorse there, watching the activities as the police officers would come and go, and then they would bring out the grisly remains, as the Post always calls them. And she sort of took all of this in and asked the officer what exactly had happened, and he said, oh, a couple of folks got it pretty bad in there last night. And she says, uh-huh. Is that a two-bedroom? True story there. What a keen show. Two gentlemen, Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas, are here from SCTV. We're going to take a look at the world's cheapest movies, and also a gentleman who created movie history in one motion picture that people still talk about, the Tom Jones film several years ago, and now in another great film. Of course, he's done many things in between there. Albert Finney is with us tonight. But we're going to do something over here. Say hello to Paul Schaefer and the gentleman. How do you do, gentlemen?
How about this band, seriously? We are going to swing tonight, I want to tell you. David Letterman.
Well, thank you, Paul. That was very nice. That was Paul actually doing a little talking over there. Thank you, Paul. That was very nice. I'll tell you about that another time. What we've done here, we've gone and subscribed to many, many small-town newspapers from all over this great land of ours, and from time to time we like to share information in them with you. This comes from today's Sunbeam in Salem County, New Jersey. Thought you'd like to take a look at this. This is a pancake breakfast, and as you can see here, they're advertising all the French fries and pancakes you can eat. Kind of health food fanatics over there in New Jersey. Apparently the doctors told them they weren't getting enough carbohydrates in their diets. This, oddly enough, comes from the same newspaper, and this is on page 7 of that publication. Down here you can see, Johnny Daig completes bathroom repair course. It is. Johnny Daig of Johnny Daig's Remodeling here has completed the Bob Cox Bathroom Specialist Training School in Baltimore, Maryland. Incidentally, the Bob Cox Bathroom Specialist Training School is rated number 17 this week in both the UPI and AP college basketball polls. This comes to us from the Gila Bend, Arizona Herald. And let's see. Oh, this is interesting. They have a little column here. I don't know if you can see this. It says, Visiting Bob and Jack. Right there. Dick McComb of Pueblo, West Colorado, an expert in a new technique of applying asphalt paving, has been visiting Jack Hopkins and Bob Price of Gila Ready Mix. You expect us to believe that this is a social visit? Under the heading over here of Surprised, see that? It says, a surprise birthday party with cake and pie was given to Darlene Ramirez and Dwayne Ruff on the 18th at the Resource Room, although they were both born the day before. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, what kind of sadists gives a surprise party to one-day-old infants, forcing them to eat pie and cake? This comes from a publication in Greene County in Catskill, New York. And it says, the caption on the photo says, new pizza oven has been ordered. And there are the boys right there. Members of George H. Scott's rescue squad were busy recently putting in a new pizza oven at their squad headquarters, the rescue squad. The group will be making pizza for general public. They will be delivering them Saturday night. Delivery services featured. People can order from so on and so forth. You know you're in good hands when the rescue squad is delivering pizza. Eh? We'd like a large pizza with extra cheese, anchovies, and by the way, Uncle Herb's not breathing. Now, we're going to quickly try and place a telephone call here. This is a newspaper from St. Clair County Courier in Missouri. This is from Ev Brown. She is 86 years old. She writes a column. Let me just read you this quickly. According to Ev, this is an item in her column. We played cards, ate popcorn and cherry pie, drank hot coffee and Coke, and really had a nice time. Well, how can you not have a nice time there? I got home just in time to watch the wrestling matches at 12:30. So we're going to call Ev. Let's see if this phone works. Okay. Can you folks hear that all right? Calling Ev Brown, a regular columnist for this publication. Remember, the jackpot is $600 and the count is 3 from the bottom. Sounds like there may have been a shooting in Ev's home just then. Oh, heavens, it's ringing. She's probably signed up for the bathroom remodeling course. That'll be 2 for Ev.
Hello?
Hello, is this Ev Brown?
It is.
Oh, thank heavens, Ev. My name's David Letterman. I'm calling from New York City. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Well, that's good. What part of the state of Missouri are you in?
Oh, well, it's just about the central part of Missouri, really.
Is there a city there?
Lowry. I live in Lowry City.
And now, Ev, you write this column for the newspaper once a week. Tell me, what is it about wrestling that you're interested in?
About wrestling?
Yes.
Well, I like everything about it. I just really like everything about it. I've been watching the wrestling matches since I was in 1970. On my birthday, I took a bunch of people to Orlando, Florida, to the wrestling match. And now they have them in the middle of the night, so I just usually stay up and watch them.
Ev, let me ask you this. Would it be fair to say that you like everything about the wrestling matches?
Well, yes, I do.
Okay.
There's some of the people I don't like that wrestle.
Yeah, they attract a nasty breed, don't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
Listen, Ev, we got a little behind ourselves here. I'm going to have to ask you if we can call you another time and talk more about your column. Would that be all right?
Yes.
Have you ever seen this show, Ev?
No, I haven't. Oh, yes, I saw your show.
Thank you so much, Ev. We'll be calling you another time. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Ev Brown, a big fan. Coming up, SCTV's Bob and Doug McKenzie. welcome back to the show. We'll try and call Ev another time when we have more time ourselves. My next guests are two of the most popular Canadian performers. They hit the big time in the United States since, of course, Robert Goulet and Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. Their album, The Great White North, is a huge success in Canada and is quickly becoming a hit in this country also. From SCTV, please welcome the McKenzie brothers, Bob and Doug.
They're doing the scene. Okay, maybe everyone will do it together, eh? Okay, go. Jeez, beautiful. Good day. Good day, everyone in the lower 48. I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother, Doug.
How's it going, eh? Okay.
Okay, like, this is our usual one, eh? Like, we couldn't bring it across the border, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? Because there's, like, no Great Lakes on it.
Yeah, they missed the Great Lakes. But they got Hudson's Bay, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, our topic today is gas shots.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one. Okay, another topic.
Oh, yeah. We, have an...
You know what?
What?
Like, there's no back bacon in the lower 48, eh?
Yeah.
Lower 48 is like USA, eh?
Yeah. So, anyway, you want to explain?
Yeah, like, these are link sausages because you don't have back bacon. We were in a restaurant, yeah, remember?
Oh, yeah, okay, and, like, we asked for back bacon, eh, and the waitress said, like, take off, you hosers. We don't have any of that. And we said, okay, wait. So we described it, and then she said, oh, you mean Canadian bacon? And we said, oh, yeah. And then we figured out that you call back bacon Canadian bacon.
Yeah, but up in the Great White North, we got something called American cheese, eh? So, like, you call that down here back cheese.
We have an announcement to make, like, we're defecting.
Yeah, down here.
And...
Yeah. Not really.
The reason is that, like, you don't have government beer stores. You can get beer in grocery stores any time of the day or night, eh?
Yeah.
So that's why we're coming.
Hey, you know what? We went to a place in British Columbia, eh? That's over here, out there, closer to Hawaii. Okay, so we're out there, eh? And, like, there's a building. It's got on it NBC, eh? So, like, we go in, we say, hey, we do our show, hey. So, you know what that was? It was a Nanaimo Bulldozing Company. Really.
So that shows you how stupid he is, eh?
Take off. He's a hoser.
Anyway, so that's beauty. So that's our guest shot for today,
Yeah,
eh?
those are all our topics for today. So, good day.
Yeah, good day, eh? Very nice. You boys did a very nice job. Very nice. The McKenzie brothers. We'll be right back.
That, of course, is Paul Schaefer, whom we heard from earlier in the show. And Bob and Doug McKenzie are, of course, in real life, Mr. Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas from the television program SCTV. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Thank you very much for being here.
Pleasure to be here. Great to be here.
You know, in all honesty, I've watched your show for a long time and loved it, but I did not anticipate the kind of reaction that Bob and Doug generated.
They're all
here.
paid. All of them.
You get your checks, everyone?
How long have you guys been doing The Great White North?
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
It started as filler in the third season, which was the half-hour show. It was still syndicated. And then when we went to network, I think at first the network said, what? And then when they saw the mail, they said, yeah, more.
So, no, but you refer to it as filler, and what exactly did that mean in those days?
Well, the half-hour show, when it was syndicated, was 2 minutes longer in Canada than it was down here. There were less commercials. It was running on the public network. And they wanted something called Canadian content, because the government legislated that a certain percentage of Canadian programming in Canada be indigenously Canadian. And that affected radio and ultimately television. So we said, well, gee, they wanted the extra 2 minutes to be Canadian. We said, isn't the rest of the show Canadian? We're from Canada, and the show's done in Canada. And they said no. So we said, how about if we sit there and drink beer and fry back bacon and
Sorry,
wear
I was
tubes.
thinking about myself.
Yeah, I thought so.
No, but see, I was surprised that there would have been something intrinsically funny about Canada. I mean, after you've done jokes about hockey and so on and so forth. But these are apparently the...
I have to say that the reason I'm wearing this is because we've been doing interviews all day as Bob and Doug and as ourselves.
And the hair puffs up.
The tube
into a
goes on
cone.
and off. Oh, that's not bad, actually. Oh, the hell with them. See, his hair is more manageable. I don't know why.
It's a fascinating discussion of hair care with these two gentlemen from north of the border. So now, are the guys you're depicting here, Bob and Doug, are we to believe that Canada is just full of these kind of...
Guys?
Yeah.
No, hell no. You never see one up there if you went looking for them. And we're still searching for the humor there. I think that there's guys like that somewhere. I mean, he told me about it. I just took his word.
What are you doing?
They're like that everywhere. They're all over the States, too. You just don't, you know.
You call them crackers, you call them whatever, you know.
They're just dumb guys.
Like, you don't call them hosers, eh? You call them
Now, what
something
is a hoser? Can we talk about that?
There's one right there. You're looking at it. No, a hoser is something you call your brother when your mom won't let you swear.
Say, if your mom happens to be NBC, say.
Now, how did the Canadian government and folks react to the popularity of these two guys?
Well, they nominated us for the Order of Canada. So
it's a serious award, David, and I
see my hair.
Bow our heads at this point.
Are you of the opinion that Canada has, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but are they operating under some kind of inferiority complex to the United States or generated by the United States?
Parts of Canada. Quebec has no problems. They have a strong culture. The West is rich.
Yeah.
And Southern Ontario just kind of sits there watching television in Buffalo going, why can't we do that?
Of course, it's kind of like living in a little one-story shack next to the World Trade Center, you know?
Yeah. No, but you guys are both from Toronto,
yeah,
right?
I love the country, you know. Watch, my citizenship is going to be revoked now, and I won't have anywhere to go.
And you're continuing to do the television program now from Toronto. I guess
we moved it to Toronto.
East a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. We have to pause. We'll be right back with Rick Moranis. Welcome back to the show. Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas here. Rick, you are the only member of the television group that did not come through the Second City workshops and so forth. And you were actually, at one point, pursuing a career as a stand-up performer, somebody who just goes out and tells jokes or whatever.
I did do stand-up for a little while in Toronto, and I went down to Los Angeles to try it.
Was that fun?
I lasted for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And at one point, very bizarre, sort of a subculture going on down there. I was standing in front of the Comedy Store at one point, and there were 2 aspiring comics there, and their world was like, that was it. And one of them came up, and the other guy said, "Where were you, man? You were supposed to be on at 9:30. The guy said, "Oh, man, you're not going to believe what happened to me. I was backing out of my driveway, and damn it, I took the car out, and somebody hit me. And I got out of the car, and this lady got out. She was beautiful, tall, blonde lady. She got out. She showed me her insurance. The same insurance agent." And the other guy said, "Hey, that's good panel." I figured, okay,
Time to leave.
Better get out of here.
It's interesting, though, that the group has pretty much been operating away from mainstream show business and thriving. Has that been beneficial or a hindrance?
Dave.
Oh, hi. I think it has been beneficial, you know. I'm not, you know, David, who can tell unless we ever get a chance and crack at the big time.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are no diversions really in
Folks,
Edmonton.
he didn't hear the question. He's winging it now. He does this all the time.
You improv guys are quick, though,
There's
aren't
no
you?
diversions in Edmonton. I mean, you know, literally things close down early.
Now,
there.
what happened?
The salad bar closes at 11.
Everyone's bad-mouthing Edmonton.
No, we don't want to badmouth Edmonton.
Edmonton's a great place.
Okay, all right.
It is.
The last time I saw David, you had broken a finger.
Yeah, and it's almost better.
Yeah.
I'm still working
He
on it.
busted his finger. We were doing a sketch, Walter Cronkite's Brain, and he was playing Walter Cronkite, and he had to do this thing where he pulled out in a Corvette and did a 4-wheel skid.
Yeah.
And came back to pick up me waiting there with my golf clubs as David Brinkley. So he rolls up. He rolls up, and we wanted to get the take, so I said the line, but I looked at his hand, and it was hanging there, you know. And anyway, they lost the take, and they stuck us in a van. We went right to University of Alberta Medical Center, and we're there as Cronkite and Brinkley in the emergency ward. And you know, the doctor comes up, and I say, I think my friend broke his finger.
Just get some x-rays. I'd be happy to take care of it and get back to the shoot.
We're kind of in a hurry. I hope we can get this over with. Speaking of
which, we have to get this over with. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here.
I can smell a segue.
Rick Moranis, Dave Thomas. We'll be right back. We'll have to pause for station identification. Good morning and welcome back to the show. We're having some fun. In a few moments, Albert Finney will be joining us, and also a fascinating report about little-known, inexpensively produced motion pictures. Before we get to all of that, you know, one of the real tricky aspects about putting a show like this together is deciding who gets to be on the program. And during the week, we are continually besieged with requests from folks wanting to be on the show, and we can't really have everyone who would like to be on the show, but we keep their photos and portfolios. And here now is a rare behind-the-scenes glimpse at a few of the folks you will not be seeing on our television program. This gentleman I was sad to say no to. This is Steve Porky Llewellyn from Silphorn, Illinois. He wanted to be on the program to show us something he found in his garage. I'm pretty sure it's from outer space, said Porky. Maybe a ray gun or something. We said, take a cab, Porky, you're not on the show. Leo and Gerard, the Wilmotti brothers from Arlington, Virginia, phoned and inquired about appearing on our show. The brothers pictured here doing what they do best. Leo told us, we just like to show up at a buffet in our suits and eat everything. Famous hypnotist Pat Collins wanted to be on the program to demonstrate all the cute and silly things people do when they're placed under hypnosis. In this photo, Ms. Collins is seen convincing hypnotized farmhands that stationary supplies are perfect thirst-quenching beverages after a long day in the field. Hypnotized farmhands. Steve Loopman from Brattleboro, Vermont wanted to be on our show to demonstrate his new product, one-size-fits-all stretch dress slacks. Hypnotized farmhands. Mr. Larry Arnazio, public relations spokesman. Now, this killed me. I really wanted to have this guy on, but the staff said no. Mr. Larry Arnazio, public relations spokesman for After Six Formal Wear, wanted to be on our program to debut his company's newest line of evening attire shown here, Tuxedos for Siamese Twins. Hypnotized Siamese twins. Oh, this is good. Steve, Larry, and Mike, the Tarzoni brothers, have a lot of brothers who didn't make the cut. The Tarzoni brothers wanted to be on our show to demonstrate how, for a small fee, they will come into your home and actually design wallpaper that looks like various members of your family. It's another family act. Maybe that was the problem. Members of the Simmons Family Sign Painting Company wanted to be on our program, said a spokesman for the group. We really don't have anything special to do for your show, but we thought you could give us some pointers on our spelling. And then later, maybe you could hypnotize us. Yes, even Pope John Paul asked to be on our show. The pontiff said that if he were booked on our program, he would recreate the gesture that landed him a lucrative part in a commercial for V8 juice. No, you won't be seeing the Pope. Coming up next, Albert Finney will be out here, and we're going to hypnotize him. Thank you very much. Paul Schaefer in the Soul Review. Albert Finney is a noted British actor who has performed on both the London stage and also on Broadway right here in New York City. Among his best-remembered films are Murder on the Orient Express and the title role in Tom Jones, which vaulted him to great success. He's currently starring in the movie Shoot the Moon with Diane Keaton. Please welcome Mr. Albert Finney. You look terrific. That's a great-looking tie and a fine-looking shirt.
Yeah, I did a movie about a year ago, and I got these out of it.
You really?
Yeah.
That's one of the great things about being in show business. Not that I'm really in it, but...
Your clothes are cute. What show are you doing for
but that's the deal. Sometimes you get to keep some clothing, yeah.
Yeah, I did a play, Luther, here about, well, some years ago. Mm-hmm. But I don't use the monk's habit much.
No, that's occasionally maybe a weekend at home.
But I don't get, there's not much call for it.
Yeah. I mentioned in the introduction of the show, which I sort of stumbled through because I was thinking in my mind about the scene in Tom Jones where you and the young woman were dining on various... and then applause broke out. Do you remember that scene? But it's... did you know at the time, were you trying to shape a scene there that would be long remembered?
Well, one of the problems with the film was I was playing this young innocent who continually kept getting seduced by worldly women. It's a very tough role to play. And one of the problems was that often the women had to say, oh, you're cute and all that. And the director, when we work on the script, said, oh, it's so boring. There's so many scenes where they say you're lovely. And we can't have another one. This couple, we're going to have a meal. And the idea came out that we did it through the way we ate, so that the woman would seduce me by the way she ate the various courses. So courses were selected that could be suggestive.
Like what? Give us an example.
Well, it was very easy to shoot because we shot it without direct sound, which means if a jet goes over, the tape wasn't ruined, you could do it again, and the director could talk you through it like they did in the silent days. So we were, there were oysters, and...
what was the first... did she start eating first, or you...
Oh, yes, she had to seduce me.
Yeah.
But it finally led up... We shot it with her on one side of a table, the camera representing me, and each dish was laid in front of her, and she'd eat a bit of it, and the director would say, no, eat that slower. And as you swallow the oyster, just look at him out of the corner of your eye and smile. Right? Now, by the time we got to the pears, the dessert, he would sort of... Now, no, don't just eat the pear. You're more than hungry for the fruit. Very, very suggestive talk was going on. Yeah. But it was very easy to shoot because we did the whole sequence in half a day.
Yeah. In all of, out of all of your credits and awards and so forth, is that the thing that people mention most to you?
Well, yes, the eating scene comes up quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I eat 3 meals a day. So.
Yeah.
These terms of reference come into one's life quite often.
Now, Shoot the Moon, I understand, is not a light-hearted romp in the hay. It's a fairly intense...
Yes, it's about a breakup of a marriage. And the couple, played by Diane Keaton and myself, have 4 girl children. And, they're still very involved and certainly find the breakup difficult, although they've broken up. And they're still also possessive and jealous of each other.
Yeah.
And there's not much...
Is it terribly sad to watch this film? Because I have sort of been thinking maybe I won't go see it because it'll make me weep and sob.
Well, it might, but it might be a relief, I mean, it might show you...
You mean even that could be better than my own life, is what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, heavens.
It could give you something to look forward to.
Yeah. We have, I would guess, as they say, a clip of this film. Do you know what's on the film?
Yes, it's around the time when I start to realize that I'm losing the family, and particularly I foresee a problem might develop with our eldest daughter. But you'll see it.
Okay, so this is Shoot the Moon with Albert Finney and Diane Keaton, and we're going to take a look at that now.
It's Sherry's birthday next week.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she could spend the day with me. I have tickets for the ice capade.
Well, you better discuss it with her.
I already did. I called her at school. She said she didn't want to go.
Well, I guess she doesn't want to go then.
Well, I thought perhaps you could speak to her.
Oh, I don't think so, George. I think this is between you and Sherry.
I have a present for her. Portable typewriter and Olivetti.
Oh, that's nice. She really wants a typewriter. Here.
I'll come by with it.
Okay.
The other night when I picked up my books, I may have taken a few of your cookbooks by mistake.
Oh, don't worry about it, George. You know me. They're mostly decoration anyway. And besides, I think I'm changing the dining room around.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I'm going to put a big rye rug in front of the fireplace.
What about the couch?
Well, I thought that I'd put that behind the rug in front of the fireplace. What do you mean about the couch?
It's the last thing we talked about when we were talking.
Oh, George, I'm sorry. This is Frank Henderson.
How do you
Okay.
do?
Yeah, this is my husband. Was my husband?
Hello. I'll be back later.
Oh, okay, fine.
Who's he?
Just somebody helping out.
Helping out?
He's building our tennis court, George.
Tennis court?
Yeah, that's right, out in the Grove.
I don't want any damn tennis court at my house.
What do you mean, your house? We kind of think that it's our house, George.
Ours?
Yeah, me and the children.
This is my house. I fixed up this house.
Well, you're not at this house anymore, George. Remember, you walked out feet first, or maybe there was something else preceding you.
This isn't your house yet.
George, it's getting late. The children have school tomorrow. We'll talk about this some other time, okay?
It couldn't have been a bright, sunny day. It had to be raining, and it's just...
So happened.
Yeah, that's awfully sad. Does it get sadder than that?
In part.
Oh, no.
You want to see some more?
Yeah, if you got the whole thing, maybe we could roll the thing through. Let me ask about your early life, if you don't mind. You're not...
I am still having it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me.
They didn't tell me this was a retrospective.
No, I mean, you know, when you were in another country, you weren't born in this country. That's what I mean. Earlier geographically, not chronologically, is what I meant there. Now, like our first guest, you were born in another land. It sounds very mysterious, doesn't it?
Yes.
And that would have been...
Where's the map? Mine was the other side.
Born in England.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the north of England, in an industrial town.
Yeah.
Do you remember a film called A Taste of Honey years ago?
I remember the name,
Well, that was
yes.
filmed in my city. I mean, which it was grew in the Industrial Revolution, very grey and grimy. People had lots of heart and spirit, and you had to live there. But that's where I came from.
Yeah. It was a pleasure meeting you, Albert, and continued success, and I will go see the film, even though I know it's going to make me terribly sad.
Thank you.
Albert Finney, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir. We'll be right back with a look at the world's cheapest movies.
Transportation for some of Dave's guests provided by Melman Bus Lines. If you need to get someplace fast, take a plane. If you need to get to someplace by bus, take Melman. Melman Bus Lines. Other people have tried us.
Oh, hi. Surprised by that? I know I was. Well, we have here tonight two gentlemen who have found out a little bit about some little-known motion pictures that were made a few years back. They are film historians, and we're proud to have them as staff writers. Please welcome Karl Tiedemann and Stephen Weiner.
Thank you, fellow cinephiles.
I've seen you guys around the office. I never really knew what you did, but nice to have you here.
That goes both ways.
But you've done some research and found out about a small studio, or what?
A very small studio.
Okay.
Because in the golden age of movie making, there were many of these small studios, which turned out very small, cheap, shoddy product. That's all they did. And we found some footage from a studio which we believe to be the cheapest, smallest, and shoddiest.
Okay.
Yeah. This was Vespucci Pictures, a small Poverty Row company which existed from roughly 1936 to 1956, turning out about 1,000 films in that time, every one of which was made with money which, even by the standards of the day, was farcical, peanuts.
Not expensive.
Not at all.
Yeah, okay.
New meaning to the word low budget is how
Okay.
they approached it.
All right, and we're going to take a look at, what are we going to look at first now?
Well, these clips that we brought kind of illustrate their cost-cutting techniques. For instance, this first one. Most studios had anywhere from like 4 to 8 sound stages where they would shoot their films. Now at Vespucci, they had only one sound stage, which they would divide up with screens so they could shoot 2 pictures or 3 pictures at once.
So it would be partitioned off in one movie and so on and so forth.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you could roll this clip, I think some drawbacks of this method will be made apparent
Okay.
to the viewers.
Take a look at that. Coming up soon on the monitors.
I have given this affair my closest attention, and I now know who murdered Mr. Josiah Amberley. But who could it possibly be? The culprit is none other than... The king approaches! All hail the king! Hail! Hail! Hail the king! Hail the king! All hail! All hail! 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 King! The king! Hail! Hail! Hail the king! Hail the king! All hail! All hail! 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 King! The king!
Well, that's a problem, sure.
Great mayor for hypnotized farmhands.
Yes.
Now, most major studios, this you should notice too, employed a full studio orchestra, which they used for original scores for the movies and to just generally support the action.
Right.
At Vespucci, the entire music department was one old man who played the accordion.
Yeah.
The only song he knew was an old sea shanty called Asleep in the Deep.
Okay.
If we could take a look at this clip, you'll see that it made their musicals basically pointless.
Okay, so that's the lack of the big sound of music in the films.
Sweetheart, the night is so beautiful, and I love you so much. I feel...
Yes, my love?
I feel like singing. Many brave hearts are asleep in the deep.
Would be a drawback.
There were only so many ways you could arrange that.
Yes.
Still.
Or fit it into the story.
This next one coming up is from a screwball comedy they did, 1938, called Love is for Morons. And this serves to point up another cost-cutting. You can see it up there, the poster. And it's a fair example of their artwork, too.
Yeah.
That, by the way, is the company mascot.
Dinky. Dinky the Smiling Badger.
Yeah. And in this one, you can see how... Well, a lot of studios, they would want to get an outdoors effect within the studio. Consequently, they would project film of outdoor scenery in back of the actors.
Right.
Now, at Vespucci, they had to make do with slides. Usually vacation photos from the head of the studio, as I think you'll see here if we could roll this clip. Momentarily.
Sweetheart, Grant's tomb is so beautiful, and I love you so much. I feel...
Yes, my love?
I feel like singing.
We have time for one more, I think, if you can quickly set this up for us.
Well, the way this is Vespucci's venture into science fiction and horror films. I don't think scary would be the word to describe it. I think unspeakable might be the word to describe it.
Okay, so, and this one came out when?
Mid-50s.
Mid-50s, and this, okay, so this is their example of science fiction?
It kind of
okay,
speaks
great.
for itself.
Fine.
Yeah.
Another epic from Vespucci. Truly a cinematic classic. Karl, thank you very much. Thank you. Karl Tiedemann, Steve Weiner, folks. We're going to pause. We'll be right back. Thank you, gentlemen. Oh, hi. Welcome back to the show. That's it. We have to turn the juice off on this sucker, as they say in television. I want to thank the folks in the studio audience who were wonderful, and I appreciate your attendance here tonight. I want to also thank my guests, Mr. Albert Finney, Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas. Of course, Paul Schaefer and the band, our announcer, Bill Wendell. Now, tomorrow, another great show. Terry Garr will be here, Bob and Ray, video artist William Wegman, and his dog, Man Ray, and a report from George Miller in his room, and a look at actual viewer mail. And now, with a special sign-off, here once again, Mr. Rick Moranis.
Oh, say, can you see bitty by the dawn's early? Pardon me, boy, is this Chattanooga choo-choo? I've got my share, just travel to spare. Oh, once I built a railroad, made it run, kept it running on time, running on time. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a rocket's red glare? The bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still tall and tan and young and lovely. The girl from Ipanema goes walking. When she's walking, our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled babba-dabba-danner yet wave in the land of the freepers, creepers? Where'd you get those peepers, freepers, creepers? Where'd you get that home of the most beautiful girl in the world? Picks my ties out, she eats my candy, she drinks my brandy in the home of the brave.